I met Dr. Drew 3 years ago. It was in 2010, and I attended a seminar where he was talking about performance and wellness, and I was really interested in the performance part of the seminar. I had gotten an email that had kind of circulated but gotten to my inbox that was telling me Dr. Drew Johnson's going to be speaking at the George Bush Conference Center on performance. So I really am passionate about nutrition. I'm passionate about exercise, and I just wanted to learn more on this specific topic of performance and how he, in his role as a chiropractor, could improve my performance. So I invited my trainers. At the time, we had about 5 trainers that came to the seminar with me and attended, and just listened to what Dr. Drew had to say. And that evening, I really enjoyed his seminar. I felt like there was a benefit to going to see him. And so that following week, had set up an appointment, and I went in for screening. And when I went in, I would consider myself somebody who's physically fit. I work out all the time. At that time, I had actually just got done running a marathon. A few months before that, I was very active in CrossFit. And I went in to see him, and I realized that a lot of the muscles and a lot of the areas of my body were not responding the way that a physically fit person's body should respond. In other words, I was weak in areas. And what I interpreted that as, if my shoulder's weak and I continue to work that shoulder, then it's going to wear out a lot quicker, and I'm typically going to compensate with the other shoulder to perform an exercise, perform a movement. But that can also go with your knees, for example. So if your right knee is not 100%, then it's going to affect your entire body. What I tell people is, what I found out was that my body needed a little more of a tune-up. And it's almost like my body needs, at that time, it needed a lot of tune-ups. I was going to see him about 2 to 3 times a week, but I continued to work out. And really what I do in my workouts, I push myself really hard. In a workout for anyone, you're breaking down your body. I mean, especially the more vigorous your exercise is. Even somebody who just, let's call it a run. You go out for a 30-minute run, you're breaking down your body for 30 minutes. And it's great. It's good for you. Exercise is great. I'm a huge promoter of it. But the Dr. Drew component to my personal fitness program is he allows me to continue to work out at the level that I like to work out. So what I found was that I needed to go in and see him regularly, and I started seeing benefits in my workouts. I did start having strength gains. I started having performance improvements. But I continue to see him regularly, and I will say that when I saw the biggest difference with Dr. Drew was at a point when I injured myself. I went into the gym and I was doing some deadlifts and I hurt my back. And I had been seeing Dr. Drew at that time regularly for about 7 or 8 months. And I knew the next day I knew the next day that I needed to go see Dr. Drew. I didn't think, when my back hurt, I need to go see. There was no other medical professional or anybody in town that I would have gone to see at that moment, because I had already had Dr. Drew who was working on me. So I decided next day I need to go see Dr. Drew. I went one visit just that day, that morning, and I saw an incredible amount of progress in the way I felt just from that 20-30 minute visit that I had. It was something that he identified that was, Charlie, this is, you've done something to your back, and he could tell you exactly what it was. But I knew it hurt, and obviously it was a Monday morning. I was not thinking about working out that day, and he said, you really need to come back this afternoon. My schedule was busy, so I couldn't make it back the afternoon, but he goes, I need to see you every day this week. Well, that Saturday I'd already previously signed up for a CrossFit competition, and I knew that I wanted to participate, but the way I felt Monday, there was no way that I could do that. So I went back every day that week. Tuesday, I felt a little bit better. Wednesday, I felt a little bit better. And by Thursday, I was actually able to work out, which was incredible. Very light workout just to move a little bit. But based on how I felt Monday morning to how I felt Thursday, I know for a fact that Dr. Drew had everything to do with that, and the treatments I was getting here when I was coming in. And then I came back and saw him Friday, and then I actually competed on that Saturday, which was incredible based on how I felt Monday. So what I gathered and what my what I interpreted from that was, there's people that tweak themselves every day in the gym. They work out, they do things improperly. They maybe go too heavy. They challenge their body too much, and they hurt themselves. And it's similar to what I did. Well, they kind of just put up with the pain, and they get out of bed the next morning and it hurts. They get out of bed the morning after that and it hurts, and they probably go through this pain for 2 to 3 months. And they feel like, man, I did something really serious to my back, and they never think to go see, for example, they don't think, oh, well, I could go see someone and this could be better by the end of the week or in the next couple days. So I knew right then and there, yes, I had already been going to Dr. Drew, and I felt like, I strongly believed in what he was doing. But after he helped me after this injury, I sang his praises even more, because I had then experienced an injury and really recovered quickly from that injury, which is just a few days, whereas some people go months, maybe even years with pain, and they just tolerate it every single day. So I've continued to come to see Dr. Drew every week. Sometimes, depending on whether or not I break my body down, abuse it even more in my workouts, I might come more, but typically a once a week visit is good for me. But I think every person who moves should see Dr. Drew. Even if you work out, you definitely need to see Dr. Drew, but if you don't work out, you need to see Dr. Drew. And he will tell you, based on his evaluation of your activity and where your body's at, how often you need to come see him. I know that for me personally, the way that I like to challenge myself in workouts, the level that I like to push myself, I have to be in at least once a week to see Dr. Drew. And it just allows me to work out at the level that I enjoy to work out.